This video is for everyone actually struggling with food noise. My credentials: I'm a recovered binge eater. I ate myself into pain and agony. I couldn't stop eating. I constantly ate. I woke up in the morning and thought about food. I had breakfast, then I thought about what I could eat next for lunch. Then I thought about what I could have for dinner or for snack. And I went through phases where I restricted myself so badly, so I could lose all the weight. I've binged myself onto my body in the shortest amount of time. I alternated between this one I can't have because it will make me fat. This food I can't have because it's bad for me, it's not healthy. This one I can't have because it will cause me inflammation. This one I can't have because I literally got diagnosed with celiac disease. I literally can't have it because it will make me sick. So I was constantly restricting myself in my own brain. That was one thing. But then also when I binged on things like Nutella and anything sweet and fat. That was my thing. Anything what was loaded with sugar and fat, and you name it. It didn't really matter as long as it was sweet. And I also wanted to feel full. I craved that feeling of fullness, physical fullness. And to the day, I struggle with feeling empty. So I'm a high volume eater, and I'm a high volume eater for a reason, because I need that physical sensation of feeling full. So now I opt to eat a ton of vegetables or fruit, anything high in vitamins and minerals and fiber, but low in calories. And I eat that first and foremost to give me that physical sensation of feeling full. That's important for my brain. And that's something I still have to work on to let that one go. So this is at the moment what I'm working on. Being able to sit here with the discomfort of not being really full. But what's gone is a food noise. I don't have that anymore. And this is a freedom. I cannot even express how good that is. This is amazing. When you wake up in the morning and you don't think about food. Let me give you the most important tools I've learned along the way. So number one is, before I eat, sometimes before I cook, I ask myself, am I hungry? Is my body physically hungry, really hungry? And if the answer is no, then I'm asking myself, but why do I want to eat right now? Is it because it's time? Don't have to eat because it's time. I even don't have to eat because my children are eating or my family's eating. I don't have to eat. Am I physically hungry? So again, if the answer is no, sometimes it might be 9 o'clock in the evening and you want to eat. Am I hungry? Or am I just peckish? Why am I peckish? Am I bored? If I'm bored, what can I do instead? Because if the answer is boredom, then the answer should be you go to your pleasure list you've made with 10 things that bring you pleasure and joy, and you pick something from that list and do it for 15 minutes. Important is the rule here. You tell yourself beforehand, I can eat in 15 minutes. I can eat whenever I want, whenever I want, and whatever I want. There's no restrictions. I can do this. There's no shortage of food. Not here in our countries. I can go to the supermarket and get whatever I want, anytime. So no shortage. So I can do whatever I want. Do I have to pay the price for it? Maybe. But even that, who cares? Is my body inflamed afterwards? Maybe. Doesn't matter. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want it. That's so important. But, well, because I'm not hungry, the rule should be I shouldn't be eating when I'm not hungry. So let's do something instead that actually brings me pleasure. Because if I'm just bored, really, we need to do something that actually makes us happy and keeps us occupied. And if it's in the middle of the night, read a book. If you need to keep your hands busy, could be two, then play a board game, do whatever it takes. If you need that physical sensation in your mouth, go, and really that works. Drink a very bitter tea. Bitter, that helps as well. It just neutralizes this. That it works. For whatever reason, it works. So these are the things. Dandelion tea is really good. Or if you really want to, drink a decaf. Do these things first. And after 15 minutes, if you really, really want to eat, you can play that game again. Now let's go back to when you figure out you're not physically hungry and what is it I'm actually feeling right now. So if you're bored, you know what to do. If the answer is you pinpoint, it's sad, it's you're angry, it's whatever it is. There it goes. Gotta sit with that feeling. Because that's the thing. You literally stuff down that feeling with food, physically, stuffing it down. The problem is the feeling doesn't disappear and the food doesn't stuff it down for forever. It just creates more problems in the long run. So when you figure out what actually is you are feeling there, ask yourself, what is actually right now I need? Do I need a hug? Do I need to cry? Do I need to maybe meditate? Do I need to go and release a feeling? Now we have the Restore and Reconnect Your Nervous System course. There are a million tools in there to connect with yourself and to release the feeling. So we're doing nothing else for 4 weeks. We're feeling feelings we don't want to feel and we're releasing them. So go there, grab the tools I give you there to sit with those feelings, feel them. And I know it's scary, but it's going to be so much better because the food doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. So another good tool is as well, really, really helpful when you actually think the food will help me, because sometimes we can't really tell ourselves it doesn't help. It's still there. You want that food. You really, really want it. And then sit down and you can write it down. You can speak it out loud. Speaking out loud is so important. You speak it out loud and run through with you. Okay, what's actually going to happen now if I eat? Let's walk through that exercise. In my case, let's use my case. I would have gone to the cupboard and grabbed the Nutella jar out of there with a spoon. And what would I have done? I would have put the spoon in there, would have eaten. I would have had that sensation of sweetness on my tongue. And then I would have started eating. Then I wouldn't have even felt much anymore because I would have kept eating and making sure that nobody sees me because I felt guilty that I actually did this. Then after probably half the tub, I would have put that away. And then not just a feeling of guilt and shame would have kicked in, but also actually a feeling of yuckiness, of literally not feeling good within my body. And what would I do afterwards? I probably would have looked for the next thing I can eat because I wouldn't have stopped with that half Nutella box. No, I would have gone to eat something else. And that would have led to eventually feel sick, so sick in my stomach. Now, when you walk yourself through that exercise out loud, actually putting yourself into that situation, really putting yourself in there, you would have realized, shit, that would supposed to make me happy. It's supposed to make me happy, but actually it doesn't make me happy. It just doesn't make me happy. This is ridiculous. It doesn't make me happy at all. It makes me feel like crap. It makes me physically feel like crap. Also, guilt, shame, remorse, all of that come on top of it. Then I'm disgusted, not just about myself, and I'm disgusted about my body. And all of those feelings are coming just to give me literally 5 seconds of relief, because that's literally all it is. It gives you a few seconds of relief. And that's it. Is maybe you cannot figure out what you're feeling, because that happened to me quite frequently as well. I was that disconnected from myself. I really couldn't figure out. Sometimes I didn't want to. Anyway, if you can't figure it out, go back to the pleasure list and do something that brings you pleasure, because that gives you a dopamine release. And if that what brings you actually pleasure takes away the feeling of wanting to eat in the first place, well, then it wasn't that important in the first place either. One more thing I forgot. When you do the thing from your pleasure list, drink at least 1 glass of water up front, maybe 2. That's even better, because so often we're not hungry, we're actually thirsty. And I know you might have heard this before, but it's actually the truth. We are so often thirsty and not hungry. Have food noise. One thing that is for sure, you are using food as painkiller, as self-medication. You're self-medicating with food to not feel certain feelings that can go real deep, real deep. So really helpful are those conversations you have out loud with yourself. Don't be stuck in your head. Talk to yourself. Sometimes I literally, when I was in the beginning of my journey, I talked to myself. Okay, Carmen, you want food now. You want food. Okay, what is it? Why do you want food? Why? It's ridiculous. You're not hungry. Why is it? What is it actually you're feeling? What do you feel? What do you want to shut down? Because usually I want to shut down something. What are you? Are you angry? Really angry? Why are you angry? Why are you angry? Usually because I didn't express myself one way or the other. And then, okay, that's anger. But what's deeper? I didn't express myself, so I don't feel valued because I'm not good enough to be heard. I feel suppressed. All of those things come up. But I needed to talk it out loud because sometimes even in meditation, things don't come up. Now, another good thing is if you go for a walk while you're talking out loud to yourself, put headphones in so nobody actually realizes you're talking to yourself. So you're not looking absolutely crazy. But when you're walking, you're releasing cortisol. And that stress hormone will be there when you actually want to eat and you can't figure out why you're actually not hungry, but you want to eat, whatever it is. Go for a walk. It will help you so, so much. Now, if nothing of that actually worked, and you still want to eat, let's say you want to eat your Snickers, although you're not hungry, you say, nah, stuff it, I want to eat it. Then what I want you to do is, let's stick to the Snickers. I want you to grab a plate. Put that plate in front of you. You unpack the Snickers and put it on the plate. I want you to sit down. And then I want you to look at the Snickers, look at the shape, and be mindful. And then I want you to really taste that Snickers. Eat it slowly and enjoy every single bite. And when you're finished, I want you to have a talk to yourself and say, it was absolutely right that I just ate that. Absolutely right. And I can have that anytime. I can have it in 5 minutes if I really want to. I can have another one tomorrow if I really want to. It's okay. My body can handle it. I want you to take a deep breath and be in peace with what you just ate. Let me know if that helped.